Talk lineup. This is WHIO.
I believe it's about that time.
Turn the radio on, This is my friend, Todd.
He makes me laugh.
From Dayton, Ohio.
Oh, super!
What a crackpot.
Would you please just listen?
Really fun. And it's free.
Oh boy, this is great.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call me now, 937-457-1290.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Cheesesteak, cheesesteak. It's the cheesesteak shuffle, huh? Cheesesteak, cheesesteak. It's the cheesesteak shuffle, huh?
Every day, all day, cheesesteak, cheesesteak.
Every night, all night, cheesesteak, cheesesteak.
9 a.m. cheesesteak.
2 p.m. cheesesteak.
4 a.m. cheesesteak.
Anytime. Anytime, all the time. Cheesesteak, cheesesteak. Let's shuffle, y'all. Come on, let's shuffle, y'all. Cheesesteak, cheesesteak. It's the cheesesteak shuffle, huh? Cheesesteak, cheesesteak. It's the cheesesteak shuffle, huh? Everybody do the cheesesteak shuffle.
It is the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7, live stream up on Facebook and YouTube. And it is National Cheesesteak Day. My question to you, where do you go for your killer cheesesteaks? Who's got the best? My favorite, without question, is Submarine House. In fact, last summer I was in the cheesesteak eating competition. I did a miserable job, but it was their longest, biggest cheesesteak. And I think the guy who won it did it in like less than 4 minutes or something ridiculous. That's insane. A close second, though, when it comes to cheesesteaks, and it's a bit of a cheat, I will tell you. Milano's Pizza, they have an amazing cheesesteak pizza. Love it so much. So those are the two places that I would go to if you're looking for cheesesteak. I've had others. You know, my wife and I go to Penn Station frequently. We enjoy their subs. They're not bad. I'll give them that. But man, oh man, can't go wrong with a Submarine House sub. 937-457-1290. Tonight on the show, oh my gosh, we've got a lot to talk about. Think about this. It's springtime. You're getting ready to come out of hibernation. You're going to start interacting with folks in your neighborhood again. It's nice weather. You're going to be outside. You're going to be doing yard work. You're going to be barbecuing, entertaining, just hanging outside on your patio, your porch, or your big deck. Do you normally hide from your neighbors? Like, do you hide from them? I saw a survey that says 65% of people admit to hiding from their neighbors. Like, you look out the window, maybe you're about to take the dog out and you see the neighbors out and you're like, Fido, you're going to have to wait. You're going to have to cross your legs, squeeze tight. There's people out there. So I'd be curious what your take is on this, because this survey, and I'm not really surprised at this, the generation that most avoids their neighbors, only by a small percentage, Gen Z. Gen Z, that's 18 to 29-year-olds. 75% say they actively hide from their neighbors, followed by millennials. That's 30 to 44. 74%. So just a slight difference. And then my generation, the Gen X, 45 to 60, 70%. But the generation that seems to be okay with their neighbors the most, boomers. So why is it? Why are the boomers okay with their neighbors and not hiding, but all of us younger kids hide our faces? We stay inside. We keep the curtains drawn. We don't make eye contact. Don't look at them. Why is that? Is it stranger danger? You know, I mean, I remember towards the probably the latter end of my childhood, that's when the whole stranger danger started to become prevalent. Before, there wasn't really stranger danger. But my generation and those that followed, oh, don't look at don't. Those are neighbors. The other thing that I thought was interesting, 28% of boomers feel comfortable giving their neighbors a key to their home. That number drops all the way down to 12% when it comes to Gen Z. Now, I remember when I was growing up, there was one neighbor in our neighborhood that had a key to our house. And really, I got to be honest, it was for me. Because sometimes I would come home from school and mom would be out doing her thing. You know, dad was at work. Mom might have been at work at two, but she was, and I had a key to the house. And this is when I was old enough to be left alone. It's not like I was 5 and 6 and they were saying, here's a key, have fun. No. This was when I was a little bit older, probably 12, 11, 12, somewhere in there, where I could be home for maybe an hour or so by myself without any real fear of me burning the place down. But sometimes I'd forget my key. Maybe I'd leave it in my locker or, at school or whatever. I'd forget my jacket before I got on the bus, and my keys would be, that's the kind of things little goofy kids do. So mom made sure that there was an emergency key at a neighbor's house that she knew that they would be home. So if I get locked out, you just knock on the door. Hey, I locked my key or left my key at school. That kind of thing. But I wonder if people do that anymore. I can't think of the last time we had a neighbor's key. I don't know that I've ever had a neighbor's key. No matter how friendly I was with them, I don't think anybody ever gave me their key. Now, maybe that says more about me than them. I don't know. But I just don't think it's something that people do anymore. Now they have those clever rocks that you can hide a key. Key inside. Oh, is that a real rock? I don't know. But I'd just be curious why you think maybe we've fallen into this trap where we don't want to talk to the neighbors. It's not like when you go out. Now, I guess in some instances you might have neighbors who are jerks and might be confrontational. I mean, we all have people like that in our neighborhoods. Maybe. But generally, I don't think people are that way. So I'd just be curious, if you've experienced this, and if you really do actively try to hide. The majority of Americans do hide from their neighbors. The most common techniques: 37% pretend you don't see them. Well, that's just stupid. You walk out, you got 4 or 5 people out in your neighborhood and you're just oblivious. You see them, but then you pretend, like, don't make eye contact. Don't look. They won't notice. Staying inside when they're outside, acting like you're not home. Now, I will tell you, we've done that before, but we have a Ring camera. And if it's a neighbor, we answer the door. We know our neighbors. We may not know them personally, but a lot of the folks when we moved in came over and introduced themselves to us. But we know enough that, like, oh, that's Ann, or that's whoever, or that's the crazy lady that vandalized my house last spring with her nonsense. But if it's somebody we don't know, we don't lots of times answer, because we're not buying, right? We're not buying whatever you're selling. Also, wearing headphones when you're outside. That's a big one, I guess. Probably if you're out doing yard work, you just put on the headphones, you're not paying attention. But you can still see them. And then the last one, acting like you're on the phone. I can see people doing that. It's a nice day. You go outside. You got your phone there. You see somebody come out their door. You immediately act like you're you're having a conversation with somebody. You're just ignoring them. But oh yeah. But I'm curious as to why the younger generations are most interested in avoiding their neighbors. If it really is like a holdover from stranger danger, I guess it could be, but it's just weird to me. I guess you could say, maybe you could argue that Gen Z spends most of their time online or on their phones. And there is something to be said to a loss in the ability to communicate face to face. Now, that's not the case with everybody. Like my producer tonight, Sierra, she's a great young lady. She makes eye contact before the show. She came in. She was going to ask me something, but first she says, "Oh, how are you today?" I mean, that was very, very nice. You don't get that a lot. I've interviewed Gen Zers before, and eye contact is not one of their strong suits. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe it is a kind of a mix between the stranger danger and they're mostly focused on their phone and not dealing with people around them. I'm not sure. But I don't feel like I'm that way. And 70% of Gen Xers say, yeah, they hide from their neighbors. So I don't get it. 937-457-1290. The other thing I wanted to mention, and we just had this, Ron had it in the news there, and I've got a perfect song. So, I have a question and a concern. We've had a couple of buildings here in the last couple of weeks lose substantial parts of the side, like concrete falling down to the ground. And I have to tell you, I'm super concerned about the NATO delegates that are going to be coming here to Dayton in May. They're going to be running around downtown having fun in gated off streets that most normal Daytonians won't be able to access. Should they all be given helmets when they're downtown running around? Because we had part of a building collapse today. Not when I say collapse, it's not like the building collapsed. But if you'll see the video, and it's on WHIO.com and pictures, I saw it on News Center 7. It was a pretty big piece of the side of the building. It's the Brim store. It's the place that sells hats down in the Oregon district, right there at the corner of 5th and Jackson. Pretty substantial amount of the wall fell onto the sidewalk. So maybe not just the NATO people that are going to be coming to town. Maybe we should all, if you're going to be going downtown anytime soon, maybe consider a batting helmet of some sort.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's a good guy, a hero.
Oh, he's a keeper.
It's fun listening. It's a good ride, but there's never any real danger.
Give it some time, man. You'll realize. You'll see. He'll grow on you.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
All right, everybody. Hope you all had a great weekend. Hi, Shay. How you doing? Hey, Lana. Clinton, what's up? Yeah, Harvey, I've thought about that. Thought about getting those stickers. But it is kind of fun to like hide and spy on them and see what they're doing out there and see how long they stay, how many times they knock. Steak time. Hey Jay, how you doing? I'm doing okay. Still have a lingering cough from 2 weeks ago.
Team last week. We'll have that for you at 5:30. Now back to the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst on 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
You ain't gonna want to miss this.
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Start the car.
You crashed your car. In local news, a spectacular car crash.
House car.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Had another car crash into a building. This time, it was in Swingfield. Number 20. It happened, let's see, I think it was, let's see, what is today? Yeah, it was yesterday. West Pleasant Street, Montgomery Avenue. I got a picture of it right there for all the folks on the live stream. Car hit the front porch. We also had a report of a car hitting a bank. And from the pictures that I saw, I was on WHIO.com. I saw a few other pictures. Some Edge had sent me pictures. I couldn't tell if it actually hit the building. It looked like it hit maybe a fence or a barrier of some sort that wasn't connected. But we're trying to figure it out. But right now we're at 20 for the year. If we get that one confirmed, of course, we'll add it. Also, the big NCAA basketball tournament is going on, March Madness. And you might recall, I think it was Thursday or Friday. Friday, I started the show in first place as far as all the WHIO personalities. I was in first place. I had the best picks. Well, now I've dropped down to fourth. And I'm tied with none other than Ron Otto. Ron Otto and I are tied for fourth place in the WHIO on-air talent brackets. First place, Jake McDonough, followed by Jeremy Ratliff, Parker Testa, and Larry Hanskin are tied for third. And lastly, today was a big day, and I'm curious if anybody made it down there to the Dolly's Burgers and Shakes. This is the Dolly's Burgers and Shakes that moved into the Frisch's restaurant, the empty Frisch's restaurant, the shell of a restaurant, really, on Springboro Pike in Miamisburg. And I'm curious if anybody made it down there, if they gave it a try, and how it compares to Frisch's, because Dolly's Burgers and Shakes is really a big boy company. But there's some, kerfuffle going on with the names and Big Boy and Frisch's and blah, blah, blah. They'll get that all worked out. But I'm curious if anybody tried it today and if it's just basically the same kind of food. Does it taste the same as Frisch's, or is it something completely different? I'd like to know. 937-457-1290.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's a good guy, a hero.
He's a keeper.
It's fun listening.
It's a good ride, but there's never any real danger.
Give it some time, man. You'll realize. You'll see. He'll grow on you.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Live.
Jay's asking, how many people have crashed into non-movable structures? Well, as of this year, we've had 20. Last year, we had 164. That's throughout the Miami Valley. It's not just the city of Dayton, but Dayton and vicinity. And there are strict rules. That is right, Leslie. Yeah, well, Jay, it is a ongoing issue, and I'm doing my best to try to, encourage people to keep it together and not crash. But last year was a record-setting year. This past weekend, Mary and I went thrifting on Saturday and some shopping. Went down to Cincinnati. From Dayton to Cincinnati is only like 40 minutes. I usually take the back roads. I don't really like driving on the highways. So it takes a little bit longer, but you can, if you hopped on 75, you could be in Cincy and pretty quick.
If news breaks, we break in anytime. Now, back to America's most powerful talk lineup. This is WHIO.
Don't hesitate to call. You call me. You better call me.
Damn it, get me a phone.
Call me on my radio.
I'm gonna call you.
You got him on the radio?
You won't make a simple phone call?
What is wrong with you?
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call me at 457-1290.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Had a busy day? My lean, mean, fat-reducing grilling machine is great to come home to. It lets you prepare hot, delicious meals in just minutes. My extra-large grill with temperature control is only available from Sears, and it's a knockout. I'm so proud of it, I put my name on it.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Of course, that was George Foreman, former boxer who turned into a bazillionaire. I don't know how much money he made, but he sold that George Foreman grill. We had one. Many people had one. They sold about 100 million of those things. That is crazy. I'd love to know what his deal was. Like, how much did he get? I mean, there's no way he invented it. Somebody invented it and said, hey, we want to put your name on this. And he was a character. You could see him on TV. You know, he did some acting, but he died over the weekend. He was 76. And, yeah, man, the George Foreman, I remember having, we had a couple. We had the small one. And then when they brought out the big one or, started selling a bigger one, we got that one as well. And I think I had one in my first marriage, and it was always a fight as to who was going to clean it afterwards because it was a pain to clean. It was such a pain. But I bet people still use them today. I see them in the thrift stores all the time. People probably got sick of trying to clean them. But yeah, well, George Foreman, he passed away at the age of 76. 937-457-1290 is our number. So today is National Cheesesteak Day. And I've asked the question, haven't had any takers yet. I'm surprised at that because I feel like we are a very hearty cheesesteak city. A lot of people, they love cheesesteaks. They really love them all over the place. But almost every restaurant you go to, there is a cheesesteak on the menu. whether they're known for their cheesesteaks or even someplace like Applebee's. Somebody mentioned that on the live stream. And on my Facebook page, I put a little thing up there that said, where do you go for the killer cheesesteaks in Dayton? And somebody mentioned Applebee's. So maybe they do have one. I've never had a cheesesteak at Applebee's. Also, Steak Time, they said down by the Dayton Mall, has great cheesesteaks. So maybe you've got a place that you go to here in the Miami Valley that you just think they have the best cheesesteak. 937-457-1290. I also need to mention this. This is a funny story, but it's fake. All right. I'm just throwing this out there ahead of time. This is fake. But I've had 4 or 5 people send me a clipping of this, a link. And and this is a problem. This is a huge problem. Is people will see headlines and they think, oh my gosh, that's a story Todd would talk about. Well, 100% in this case, it is. But what they don't do is go and look at the source. There is a Facebook group called, I guess it would be more of a page, the Macomb Breaking News. And this is a parody site. This is a satire Facebook group. But the story is that a 102-year-old woman was arrested after authorities uncovered a fully operational underground Little Caesars running out of her basement. And they say investigators said she had been selling $5 hot and readies to a steady stream of customers, some of whom claimed her pizzas were better than the real thing. Well, that story is fake. It's not real. So you can stop sending me links to this story. It sounds like a great story, 100%. You know, there's probably some little old lady somewhere in America operating in a legal restaurant out of her basement. Good for her. Good for her. But, and this one was called Grandma C's Pizza Basement. But it's not real. It's not real. 937-457-1290. Let's talk to, we got Brendan in Dayton. What's going on, Brendan?
Yeah, I can't believe no one has claimed Jersey Mike's.
Oh, Jersey Mike's. Now, I've been to Jersey Mike's, but I've not had their cheesesteak. What makes their cheesesteak so good?
I mean, it's Jersey Mike's. I don't know what to tell you, but
well,
it's really good.
Do they do something different with it that other places don't do with their cheesesteaks? What sets them apart, Brendan?
Well, I guess I'm not a connoisseur as far as that goes, but I don't know. I just really like it. There was actually, if you know where the Jersey Mike's is, by the Chick-fil-A there and kind of like Centerville by Sam's, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a local sub restaurant that used to be in that same building, and they had, I would say, the hands down the best, but they're not around anymore, and I can't remember the name of them for the life of me. But yeah, Jersey Mike's would be my vote. Why? I guess I don't know. I should have thought about it more, but that's all as far as I'm concerned.
Well, you know what's interesting about cheesesteak pizza? I mean, I grew up here, and the cheesesteaks that I remember having and continue to have and enjoy, it's either like provolone cheese or mozzarella cheese with peppers and onions and the beefsteak, and sometimes you can add mushrooms. And I went to an event in Atlanta years and years ago. It was a big outdoor concert, and it was at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, and I went to order a sandwich and I asked for a cheesesteak. Well, I wasn't really paying attention. I just saw the big sign cheesesteak. They handed me a cheesesteak sandwich, but you know what was on it? Cheese Whiz. Cheese Whiz. And I thought, well, what is this crap? What is this crap? But apparently, and I was corrected very quickly, cheesesteak comes from Philly. That's where I guess it originated from. And that is how you get a authentic chili or Philly, not chili, Philly cheesesteak is with melted Cheese Whiz.
I would not have guessed that, and I probably would have had the same reaction that what kind of cheap crap is this?
Exactly,
And then
exactly.
felt just as bad.
But I've not found any place here locally where you can get a cheesesteak with Cheese Whiz. At least it's not on the menu. Maybe you could order one and they, see if they had any Cheese Whiz in the fridge and melt it down. But I've never seen it with Cheese Whiz on a menu anywhere in town.
Oh, yeah. No, I feel like provolone is the way to go. And Jersey Mike's, I'll say this, has really good provolone and really good bread. So I guess that would set it aside.
Well, I'll check it out. I'll check out Jersey Mike's. Thanks, Brendan. Appreciate it. Let's see. Steve in Sydney. Hey, Steve.
Hey, Todd. Love the show as always.
Thank you so much.
Just give me a little information. You were talking about the George Foreman grill. Do you know who originally that was offered to?
No, I have no idea.
It was originally offered to a really big name, Hulk Hogan.
Really?
And Hulk Hogan had other things to do, and he didn't get back to them as soon as they wanted to, and they moved on to the next guy, and Foreman benefited greatly from it.
So Hulk Hogan could have been the grill master king, and he passed on it.
Correct.
Interesting. Now, I wonder if it would have been as successful as it was with George Foreman, because, no, I'm not throwing any shade on Hulk Hogan, but he has an entirely different personality than what George Foreman had.
I would totally agree. And he's had a lot of bad incidents over the last few years that would have really hurt that image of that. And George Foreman was always a pretty good saint.
Yeah, I feel like he was a much better pitch man than what Hulk would have been.
Absolutely.
Yeah, interesting. All right. Well, thank you, Steve, for that. I had no idea. Yeah. Let's see. Jacob and Huber. What's up, Jacob?
Hey, Todd. I was just listening, long-time listener, first-time caller.
Well, thank you for calling. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So I am very passionate about cheesesteaks, and my favorite cheesesteaks would be Penn Station, but you were inaccurate about something you just said.
Oh, that's not surprising.
And that was, there is a place that has Cheese Whiz on their Philly cheesesteaks, and it's a ghost kitchen ran out of IHOP. I think you can only get it on DoorDash, but they've got like the Cheese Whiz Philly cheesesteaks. So if you look for it on DoorDash, it's called like Ballpark Phillies or something.
Interesting. But it's not like it's not at a regular restaurant on the menu. I guess that's kind of what I was saying. But
I think it's ran out of IHOP. But I was in Philly like 2 years ago and had that for the first time, and I was also shocked. It was weird.
Yeah, and what did you think of it?
It was good. That's not my preferred method of cheesesteak, but it was good.
See, the thing that I didn't like about it, and I generally have this issue with sandwiches that are leaky.
Okay.
Because
that's fair.
Because like the provolone and the mozzarella melts down enough to where it's sort of, I don't want to use the word solid because that doesn't sound very appetizing, but it kind of stays together, right? With the Cheese Whiz, I remember I had Cheese Whiz on my chin and shirt afterwards.
Okay.
And I guess, it's fun to have a messy sandwich from time to time, but not when you're standing out in a speedway infield and it's 95 degrees and you've got cheese all over your face.
Nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that, Jacob. All right.
God.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. That line's open, 937-457-1290. Oh, man. Yeah. Cheesy. I like Cheese Whiz. A lot of people don't like Cheese Whiz. I like Cheese Whiz. I like Velveeta when it's melted down. It's great, but I just don't know about putting that quality of cheese, which, let's be honest, it's not high quality cheese, on beefsteak. I'm not sure about that.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's a good guy, a hero.
Oh, he's a keeper. It's fun listening. It's a good ride, but there's never any real danger.
Give it some time, man. You'll realize. You'll see. He'll grow on you.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
All right, we got some paper wads. In fact, we have quite a few. Let's see here. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 for 6. I'm on fire. I'm leaning into the March Madness fever. I would like a Cheez-It endorsement. Michael, that's an excellent point. Not really cheese. Cheese in the loosest sense of the word. There's more cheesiness on this show than there is in Cheez-It or Cheese Whiz. Oh, White Claw endorsement would be fine too.
Live from the McAfee Heating, Air, and Plumbing Studios. Breathe easy. Choose McAfee. Call today or visit mcair.com. This is WHIO Dayton and WHIO FM Pleasant Hill. All news, all the time.
President touts a big foreign investment in the U.S. We'll have that for you at 6. Now back to the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst on 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
This is a job for Weenie Man.
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. If I sound a bit woozy today, there's a reason. I got a visit today here at the station by a couple of Girl Scouts that were on my show back in January, and they were delivering their cookies. Alex, their mom, brought Kaylin and Sophie. You can see a picture on my Facebook page. They brought a box of Thin Mints and a box of Caramel Delights. And I'm not going to lie, hour or so before the show, I ate an entire sleeve of Thin Mints. Yeah, an entire sleeve. And I'm a bit embarrassed about it, to be honest. And I feel a bit woozy. 937-457-1290. Todd in Centerville. What's going on, Todd?
Hey, Todd.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Now, before you make your comment, I don't know if I've talked to you before. Are you on social media? Are you on Facebook?
No, I'm on my cell phone.
No, but I mean, are you on Facebook at all?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
Look for the Todd Lodge. It's a lodge that I have started a Facebook group just for guys named Todd.
Oh, that's great.
So look for it. Send a request, and you can join the Todd Lodge.
What's your middle initial? Are you a TJ?
I'm a TA.
Oh, TA.
Allen.
Okay.
Todd Allen. And only my mom calls me that, and sometimes my wife.
So your topic is cheesesteaks, right?
Well, today is National Cheesesteak Day, and I asked people where they go for the killer cheesesteaks in the Miami Valley.
So we found, do you consider Waynesville the Miami Valley?
Oh, sure. Yeah, okay. 100%.
We like, it's called a Stone House. You know, you go in there.
I've been there. I've been there. Yeah.
They got a good cheesesteak. We like it.
No, I've not tried that there.
And they do have the cheese whiz. You got to ask for it. I didn't know that, but.
So I wonder if they normally just put like provolone or mozzarella or something on it. But if you want the cheese whiz, you can get it.
Yeah, you still get the cheese on it.
Yeah.
You get the whiz. So
you know what I like from there?
Yeah.
The sauerkraut balls.
Oh yeah,
those are good. Those are really good. But that's home of the sauerkraut festival.
You'll have to bring that up on Sauerkraut Ball Day if there's such a thing.
I wonder if there is a sauerkraut ball day. There should be. If there isn't, we need to effort that. All right, Todd.
Enjoy your show. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Maybe he'll join the Todd Lodge. That would be kind of cool. And again, if anybody out there is named Todd and you'd like to join the Todd Lodge, hit me up.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's a good guy, a hero.
Oh, he's a keeper. It's fun listening. It's a good ride, but there's never any real danger.
Give it some time, man. You'll realize. You'll see. He'll grow on you.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Hi, Mary Beth. How you doing? What is a sauerkraut ball? A sauerkraut ball, usually it's made with like pork sausage, and they put finely diced sauerkraut in with the sausage. They add, salt and pepper and different things, other seasonings. Then they coat it in like like a bread coat, and then they fry it. Captain Scurvy, you know what mountain oysters are. Smarty pants. Pig balls.
Our next scheduled news in less than 15 minutes and immediately when it breaks. I'm Ron Otto, 1290 at 95.7 WHIO. Dayton's News and Talk. Depend on it.
If news breaks, we break in anytime. Now, back to America's most powerful talk lineup. This is WHIO.
Have you ever heard of this guy?
It's Todd. It's Todd, honey.
He's funny.
Monday through Friday.
5 to 7. On the radio?
You can tell she likes Todd for Todd. He's a nut. Real character, that one.
Todd, let's do this.
Get the show started.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call me now, 937-457-1290.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Cheesesteak, cheesesteak. It's the cheesesteak shuffle, huh? Cheesesteak, cheesesteak. It's the cheesesteak shuffle, huh?
Every day, all day, cheesesteak, cheesesteak.
Every night, all night,
Cheesesteak, cheesesteak.
9 a.m. cheesesteak.
2 p.m. cheesesteak.
4 a.m. cheesesteak.
Cheesesteak, cheesesteak.
Anytime, all the time. Cheesesteak, cheesesteaks. Let's shuffle, y'all. Come on, let's shuffle, y'all. Cheesesteak, cheesesteak. It's the cheesesteak shuffle, huh? Cheesesteak, cheesesteak. It's the cheesesteak shuffle, huh? Everybody do the cheesesteak shuffle.
It is the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7, live stream up on Facebook and YouTube. It's National Cheesesteak Day. So one of the many topics that we're bantering about tonight, who has killer cheesesteaks here in the Miami Valley? We've heard a lot of great suggestions. Maybe you know of a place that you go to, a hidden gem, if you will. Maybe people don't know about. But it is National Cheesesteak Day. 937-457-1290. Also, last hour, started the show. Didn't get any bites on this. I thought for sure we would, but, you know, it's a Monday night, and it's kind of a nice night. It's a bit breezy, for sure. I'm glad I didn't wear my skirt today because, woo, lordy, lordy, lordy. It's a bit breezy. I saw this survey from a company called Top Rail. They ask 1,000 Americans if, in fact, they like to hide from their neighbors. And because, you know, now that the weather is turning nicer, it's a bit warmer. You're going to be out and about more. You're going to be out in your yard. You're going to be doing stuff outside, and you have those neighbor encounters from time to time. But according to this survey, 65% of people admit that they hide from their neighbors. 48% only interact with their neighbors monthly once or just once monthly. And 17% of Americans trust their neighbors with a house key. 17%. So I'd just be curious if you try to avoid your neighbors. Maybe you've got good reason. I don't know. I don't avoid my neighbors. I only have a few neighbors that really acknowledge me. Some don't acknowledge us at all. And that's fine. You know, whatever. You live in your little world, that's so be it. But our neighbors are pretty good. I would say 85% are great. 937-457-1290. We had this story. I think we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Did you hear this story? I guess let me, I need the official. Breaking the law, breaking the law, breaking the law, breaking the law. So there was a story a couple of weeks ago where there was a guy in Orlando who went into a very high-end jewelry store. I believe it was a Tiffany jewelry store. And he has a history of jewelry theft. And he went into this place and he asked to look at a couple of earrings. He said to the worker there that he represented an NBA player, that he was a representative, and that this NBA player was interested in buying some jewelry, some earrings. So he asked to see the earrings, and when he got them, he took off with them. While he was fleeing, he tossed the earrings, I guess, in his mouth and swallowed them. Swallowed them down. After he was caught, they took him to the hospital, and I guess they did an x-ray, and they saw, in fact, that he had some sort of item in his gastrointestinal tract. $770,000 worth of diamonds this guy swallowed. Well, you'll be glad to know that finally he has passed the diamonds. He has passed them. For a while, they weren't revealing the update. Like the police were like, no, we can't tell you anything about this, but it finally came out. I guess, let's see, March 10th, he passed 3 of the 4 Tiffany earrings. And then on March 12th, he passed the final. He also passed 2 unidentified earrings. So he passed the 4 that he stole, worth $770,000. And then he passed 2 others where cops were like, yeah, we don't know where those are from. But this guy apparently has a long history of this. He was busted in 2021. He snatched a pair of earrings and 2 Rolexes out of the hands of a female clerk in Houston. Those were worth $133,000. In February of 2022, he was at a Tiffany location in Houston and stole 2 rings valued between $300,000 and $150,000. And then, let's see, I guess a month, sometime later that month in February 22, he was involved in a jewelry heist at a Colorado Springs high-end jewelry firm. And then in 2024, he was, he committed several smash and grab robberies across Texas, Colorado, and Oklahoma and Louisiana. So this guy has a long history of stealing high-end jewelry. No word if he ingested any of those jewels. But that, I guess that begs the question. I mean, obviously, if you're the Tiffany store and you had the $770,000 worth of diamonds stolen, you want those diamonds back. Do you have to reveal to a potential buyer where the diamonds came from and their history? That yes, these diamonds were stolen, they were swallowed, and then they were expelled from the thief. Would you buy those diamonds, knowing where they had been? I feel like no. I don't think I would. I would not want. I would not want those diamonds. I'll have some other diamonds. Unless it was a discount, unless it was a deep discount. We're going to discount these diamonds because of their history and where they came from and what they've been through, or in that case, who they've been through. Then maybe, but not that I would ever buy diamonds like that. But I wouldn't buy diamonds that have that history. We have a couple of idiots of the week to talk about.
You are a stupid idiot!
Comes from upbringing. Parents are probably idiots too.
Idiot! Imbecile pig!
Wake up, idiot!
Silly dilly dokio. I'm an idiot. Yeah, that's true.
Now, I would say this idiot of the week is more like a public service. There's a lot of people out there who have jumped on the social media bandwagon. They've been doing it for years, and they are always trying to come up with some crazy, clever video that will let them go viral, right? You do something nuts, and usually it's all manipulated. It's not like something that just happens. It's something that you plan, and you hope that it goes well, and you put it out there, and you hope that a lot of people click on it, and this is a cautionary tale of what not to do. Doctors at a hospital in China recently reported one of their most bizarre cases yet. A woman who was attempting to shoot a funny video with her boyfriend got her hand stuck in his mouth. Clips and photos of the couple walking into the emergency room of a hospital went viral. Well, there you go. They achieved it, but not the kind of attention maybe they wanted, or maybe not. I don't know. The woman's hand was small enough to fit in her boyfriend's mouth. She managed to stuff her fist in there just fine, but when she tried to pull it out, his mouth muscles stiffened and the hand became stuck. And I saw pictures of this, and yeah. After repeatedly trying to pull her hand out of the man's mouth, the young woman decided that they needed medical attention. Well, sure. You can't go on with a hand in your mouth. The woman said that her boyfriend's face gradually turned red, and all of her efforts to yank her hand free from his mouth were useless. She says he drooled continuously because he couldn't close his mouth. You'd think that would lube it up a bit, but no. And his throat made a gurgling sound. That's fun. To make matters worse, his teeth clamped down on her wrists because of his contracted muscles. So maybe she's got some bite marks now. Doctors say the girl's hand got stuck because her boyfriend's jaw muscles had contracted, preventing him from opening his mouth. This created a dangerous cycle. The more pain, the tighter he clenched his jaw. Now, my question is this: who drove to the hospital? Did they drive to the hospital? And if who drove? Because it looked like it was her right hand. So I guess if she drove, it depends. Well, I don't know what side of the car the steering wheel is in China. If it's on the left side, like our cars, I guess he could sit in the passenger seat. Her hand could be in his mouth, and she could be steering with the left wheel, or you know what I'm saying? Though if her hand was, if he was driving, he'd have both hands free. But boy, it'd be tough to steer with someone's fist in your mouth. You know? And you wouldn't want to have to brake short. That would be terribly painful. And never mind potholes. She could lose some digits. But after about 20 minutes of attention from the doctors there at the hospital, they were able to finally get the hand unstuck. Hospital staff said that they calmed the patient because it was really a case he just had to be relaxed. Once he was relaxed and not so anxious, his muscles loosened up and he was able to, take the hand out of the mouth. So just be careful. If you're looking to make a viral video, don't sit there and say, hey, do you think my fist will fit in your mouth? Let's see.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good guy, a hero.
Oh, he's a keeper. It's fun listening. It's a good ride, but there's never any real danger.
Give it some time, man. You'll realize. You'll see. He'll grow on you.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Now from the WHIO News Center, the
I have been. Oh, no, Ron. 3 stitches. Oh. Are those his first stitches? I remember my first stitches. I was 5. I was 4 or 5. I got hit in the chin with a baseball. And then about 8 or 9 years later, I got hit again in the chin with a baseball. And I had to get stitches for that too. Then I had to have stitches in my index finger for after I cut it while slicing bread. I have a long history with stitches. I had stitches on a couple surgeries, other surgeries, like more evasive surgeries. Todd, how does your voice get messed up in time? How does your voice get messed up in time? I don't know what you mean by that, Joel. I actually, I had not the same kind of situation. I can hear you, but your movements don't match. Oh, I don't know. That's some sort of glitch, I guess, on Facebook or wherever you're watching. I had stitches removed from my chin, and the doctor left part of one end, didn't see it. I ended up taking it out myself with some tweezers, and oh boy, I remember that. That felt great.
Head of the VA talks about the department's future. We'll have the latest at 6:30. Now back to the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst on 1290 at 95.7 WHIO.
Get a load of this guy.
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Right now at eveningedgetodd.com, you can register to win a Dayton-made gift basket from our good friends at First Florist. This is pretty cool. We're giving one of these away each month throughout 2025. And we'll be drawing the winner for the next basket, the March basket, next Friday on the 4th. And if you win it, you'll get a gift certificate from First Florist, some candy from Esther Price Candy, Dot's Pretzels, Marion's Piazza, coffee from Boston Stoker, dressing from the Pine Club, a bag or box of Cheez-It at my insistence, and a Evening Edge with Todd jackpot coffee mug. So you can register at eveningedgetodd.com, or you can look for the contest on the WHIO.com website. We have some food as weapons news.
Why are people throwing food at you? It's criminal.
We don't waste food around here.
Food is not a weapon.
Put down the pickle.
I was attacked with baloney.
Floating mashed tater ball.
If you persist in throwing food, I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Well, this, this is one of my biggest pet peeves, people using food as a weapon. And this happened down in Louisiana. There was a guy, 58 years old. He's facing charges after he threw food at his 34-year-old wife. But as police were going to arrest him, he was pleading that he does not believe that throwing food on his wife is a crime. Now, I don't know that it's a crime. It's certainly bad food etiquette, for sure, right? And we've had these stories, and I got to be honest, this is the first time I really thought about this. That lots of times these guys, and sometimes it's women who do it, when they throw food at someone else, they end up facing charges. But how many times when you were in school were you involved in a food fight? Think about that for a second. It's like you're in school and there's a food fight and you throw food at your friends. Is that not the same? Now, maybe it's not necessarily done in anger. And maybe that's the difference. If you throw a pizza roll at your sibling because they're making too much noise while you're watching TV, not a crime. Or is it? I don't know. But we've had all kinds of things used as weapons. We've had pizza rolls. We've had pancakes. We've had waffles. We've had steaks. Doesn't say what the food was in this case. But I guess it's the intent. If you're trying to put somebody's eye out with an Oreo, maybe it is a crime. I don't know.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good guy, a hero.
Oh, he's a keeper. It's fun listening. It's a good ride, but there's never any real danger.
Give it some time, man. You'll realize. You'll see. He'll grow on you.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Who has ever been in a food fight? I know I've been in a food fight. Oh no, Kelly. Liam is accident prone. Oh, half a point. Half a point. Dee, 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 dee. Leslie, I'm up to 8. I was up to 8 before. 8 no. I was 8 of 8. So there'd be 9 and a half, 9, and then 9 and a half. I don't know. Leslie. At least you're honest.
Beer. I should find a clip. Bourbon.
If news breaks, we break in anytime. Now, back to America's most powerful talk lineup. This is WHIO.
Don't give me that politics, Jazz. It's not my racket.
People are tired of hearing nothing but doom and despair on the radio.
Everyone just relax, all right? The problems of the world are not in my department. Now, who would like a cookie?
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call me at 457-1290.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Live stream up on Facebook and YouTube. Well, if you pay attention to sports, you know that athletes are always looking to try to get an advantage. And sometimes, yes, they resort to cheating. You think about baseball, you got pitchers scuffing the baseball and using Vaseline and pine tar. You've got the bats that are sometimes corked, right? We had the story a number of years ago with Tom Brady and the deflate gate where the footballs weren't inflated completely. I mean, the list goes on and on. Of course, there's the performance-enhancing drugs, the steroids, that whole thing, right? What else is there? Like race cars, like NASCAR. Sometimes drivers have been and teams have been, fined and suspended because of illegal parts, or they did something different with the car that violated the rules. Here is a cheat that I've never heard of and never would have considered. So the Norwegian Ski Federation has suspended 3 members of staff amid a cheating scandal that has rocked the organization. The federation said that 2 of the ski jumper suits that the ski jumpers wear, like they have that those tight onesies. You know what I'm talking about? Were illegal. Now, why were they illegal? You think it was just a onesie of some sort. The suits were found to contain a reinforced thread. So somebody made these suits with a reinforced, stronger thread that somehow made the suits stiffer and more aerodynamic. I would have never imagined that some sort of thread would be a part of a cheating scandal. But clearly it is. These 2 guys, let's see, what are their names? You got Johan Forfang, that's a cool name, and then Marius Lidvik. They've been suspended. And here's the thing, they admitted it. They didn't try to cover it up. They just decided, yep, we did it. This was done knowing that this is not within the regulations. But it was done with the belief that it would not be discovered by the Norwegian Ski Federation equipment controller. There's a gig for you. But I've never heard of that before. Thread. That's what they use to cheat. Thread. We've got some teachers behaving badly.
Literally the worst teacher ever.
You're a really shitty teacher.
No such thing, bad student, only bad teacher.
You're a joke. You're the worst teacher I've ever had.
So this is a teacher in Illinois, and okay. Let me reset here. Okay. This teacher, she's 30. She is a special education teacher and a soccer coach. And I've seen a picture of her, and she's not bad. She's kind of attractive. Now, why would it matter? Well, the woman who has worked at the Downers Grove High School in Illinois, she's facing multiple charges after being arrested by detectives accused of sexually assaulting a student. Now, there's nothing funny about that at all, and I'm not making light of it. However, this woman's defense is this. She said, quote, "Everybody comes after me because I am too good looking." She says she's a good person and that she just cared too much about the victim. What she says is because she's so good looking that she is often a target for this type of thing, where she says she was being blackmailed. She says that the 15-year-old got possession of her phone, sent himself explicit messages in an effort to blackmail her. But authorities allege that's not the case and that she did in fact commit the crime she's accused. School officials immediately placed the teacher on administrative leave and prohibited her from being on school grounds. But she actually, and I remember there was a story, wasn't there a story like a year or so ago where some woman said that she was probably a Florida woman, where she was always being targeted because she was so good looking. Do you remember that? I can't remember what that story was about. And this reminds me, and I didn't talk about this on the show, about a month ago, there was a high school, or excuse me, a college student. And I can't remember where it was at. It might have been Alabama or Arkansas or somewhere in the South, where she was going to a fraternity party and she was caught speeding. And when they took her mugshot, you know, when you get your mugshot taken, I wouldn't know. I've heard, because I've never had my mugshot taken, thankfully. But your mugshot is public. And lots of times, you know, these mugshots go viral if there's something weird about it, right? Usually it's somebody's got a big tattoo of something on their forehead, or there's the one where the guy's got this really inordinate long neck, right? That's been around. This one went viral of this girl because she was smiling and she was very attractive. That's why it went viral. And she was getting all this attention. She got all these new social media followers because she was hot. And this was like a big to-do. Well, guess what? She got arrested again. She got arrested. I don't know what she did this time, but she got arrested again. And her mugshot, just as good. She's smiling. She looks great. She's gonna get some sort of reality show. I can promise you. That's the way things are now. So upside down, so weird. Man, oh man. 937-457-1290. Somebody asked earlier, we were talking about the restaurant down in Waynesville. Was it the Stonehouse? I think it's called. And I mentioned that I like their sauerkraut balls. And somebody on the live stream asked, what is a sauerkraut ball? Well, a sauerkraut ball, and I'll just mention this in case other people out there don't have any idea what it is. It's usually made with pork, like sausage, right? It's a ball, and inside the sausage, you got your sauerkraut, right? You got little like finely diced sauerkraut. And then they put salt and pepper and whatever seasonings you want. And then you dip it in an egg, like an egg scramble or whatever. Then you coat it with bread, and then you fry them. You just deep fry them. And they are so good. Now you got to like sauerkraut. I mean, that's the first thing. Like my wife and I, when we went to that restaurant, it's probably been a year or so ago. She's not a sauerkraut fan. So they were all for me, which was great. And the ones that they have, they're huge. They're really, really good. But that's what a sauerkraut ball is, in case you were wondering. We have some creeper news here. This is
Crazy creep!
Bunch of weirdos.
Sounds like a creep to me.
another story from the sports world.
Your move, creep.
You little creep.
Now this story, this is an assistant football coach. He is a former NFL and University of Michigan football coach. His name is, I guess, Matt Weiss. I don't know how he managed to do this, unless he's some sort of underground computer expert, but he hacked into computer accounts of thousands of college athletes. I don't know how he did this. It says from 2015 to 2023. Wow. 8 years of this before anybody caught on. He gained access to databases of more than 100 colleges and universities that were maintained by a third-party vendor. He then got access to the social media, email, and cloud storage accounts of more than 2,000 athletes. He primarily, of course, targeted female athletes, and then he blackmailed them for pictures. He researched and targeted these women based on their school affiliations, athletic history, and physical characteristics. His goal was to obtain private photographs and videos never intended to be shared beyond intimate partners. How does somebody like that get access to a database like that? And for 8 years, nobody was aware of this? Nobody came forward? You would think at some point someone would say, wait a second. I mean, 2,000 people were targeted. Somebody had to have been like, wait a second, what? Man. Let's see. He worked for the Baltimore Ravens before joining the University of Michigan in 2021. And he's only charged with 14 counts of unauthorized computer access and 10 counts of identity theft. But yet he accessed the accounts of more than 2,000 athletes. How's he only get 14 counts? That's weird. But that's pretty creepy. Pretty creepy for sure. So I'm sure he'll go to jail, hopefully.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's a good guy, a hero.
Oh, he's a keeper. It's fun listening. It's a good ride, but there's never any real danger.
Give it some time, man. You'll realize. You'll see. He'll grow on you.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
All right, here comes another one. Oh, complete miss. Air ball. Yep. It didn't even hit the rim. Unbelievable. Not bad. Not bad. I'm feeling good. Feeling good. I feel very confident.
Dee, 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 dee. Do, 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 do.
From the McAfee Heating, Air, and Plumbing Studios. Breathe easy. Choose McAfee. Call today or visit mcair.com. This is WHIO Dayton and WHIO FM Pleasant Hill. All news, all the time.
Gusting winds continue into this evening. We'll have the latest at 7 o'clock. Now back to the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst on 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
This guy was smart, sophisticated, professional. I mean, really, really great.
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Well, you might recall last week, parts of the upper Midwest got slammed with snow. And Wisconsin got buried, got hit. There's a zoo in, I don't know how to pronounce this, Suamico, Suamico, Wisconsin. Well, there's a zoo up there, and last Thursday during a winter storm, 2 of their otters escaped. Louie and Ophelia, 2 river otters that, by the way, were captured in the wild and brought to the zoo. They managed to get through a hole that they made big enough in a fence and escaped the new zoo and adventure park. Tracks in the zoo or in the snow and video from overnight camera showed the wild night the otters had sliding around the zoo. I guess they went on a tour of the zoo and then escaped through this giant hole. So now the folks up there in Wisconsin, in Suamico, wherever that is, are looking for these 2 lost otters. Zoo officials say the otters are not a danger to the public. But I'm not so sure. You know, a couple of otters, they don't want to be held captive. They're probably hungry, pissed off of the snow, and being in captivity, they might be a danger. Who knows? We'll have a terrific Monday night. We'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget, you can get the podcast of the show at eveningedgetodd.com and all your other favorite podcast platforms. You can go back and watch the live stream on Facebook and YouTube. Have a terrific night, and we'll see you tomorrow here on the Evening Edge.
That's it. I'm pulling the plug.
You know what? I'm done.
Well, is that it? Is that all?
Oh, that was fun.
Show's over, ladies.
Not bad, huh?
Well, you get an A for effort.
Good night, sweet prince.
Peace out, Leah.
See you tomorrow, same time, same place.
Good night, everybody.
Well, I lost my camera, the trash cam, and I missed. So have a great night, everybody. See you tomorrow.